kind of speaking on those like cult tactics, I really liked when you shared, some examples like the GM. A lot of people kind of wonder, what's the point of people saying GM or GM friends all the time? What are some other kind of interesting kind of cult behaviors that you've seen, kind of across the Web3 space, and what have you seen that kind of works and doesn't work?
There are so many actually. The first of them, other than the GM, being the PFP. Because, like, for example, whenever you change your PFP into a higher level NFT, people will respect you more somehow. And this works. It makes me sad. It makes me genuinely sad, but it's so real. It's similar to owning a G Class and owning a Toyota. Even if both are functional cars that can take you from place A to place B in the same way, and sometimes Toyotas are even better. But if you have a Lamborghini, people will look at you in a different way and will speak to you in a different way. So social status is something that we apply a lot in Web3 with the profile pictures. A lot of people make sure. So for me right now, it will be way better to have my face as my profile picture because I'm interacting with a lot of Web2 people as well. But it is very important for me to keep my PFP as a cartoon PFP because this is the culture that we have built in Web3 right now. I belong to the persona community. I have this PFP. I connect with people. For example, New Ties right now. I could notice New Ties out of all people because he has a persona PFP and we have met multiple times. I've had extensive sometimes I even respond faster, and this is with multiple people. You tend to respond faster to higher status NFTs than lower status NFTs, and this is not like whenever you notice that you change it, but the initial act of you responding or not responding to a DM before you notice that you are doing that, it's technically if the NFT is of higher class or not. Similar to when you decide to go speak to a person in a G class and not to a person in Nissan or Toyota, but maybe it's just the same type of person, but one person doesn't care about flaunting a car in front of other people. So, and it takes time for you to become aware of that. And when you get aware of that, you try to change it, but it is hard to maintain. So PFPs are one thing. Social status is a big thing in Web3. GMs, belonging in Discord servers, even some words. For example, now everybody's using the word chat. Hey, chat, do you do this? Do you do that? Going on spaces and screaming at some point was a very cultish thing to do because there was a one specific spaces host that used to scream all the time and it was the trend. Um, I would also say entitlement is part of the culture, even though I hate it, but I like to talk about the positive and the negative equally. Everybody's entitled. I'm building a company, I'm building Kiwi, and I'm not selling an NFT. I am not, nobody has anything. I don't owe anyone anything. I'm just posting posts, making studies, building something of my own. Nobody has put any dime into my company. I'm not selling any NFT. And still, sometimes in my comments, people are like, yeah, prove to me that you're DMing those people. Dude, I don't have anything to prove to you. Why do you want proof? I am building my own thing. Why are you entitled? You go be entitled to the projects where you have spent money onto, not onto me. So entitlement has become part of the culture. I really hate it a lot, but it is part of it. We have to live with it, just like we have to live with a lot of negative things that are part of the culture in Web 2 as well. So these are the main things: PFPs, entitlement, GMs, being in Discord servers and feeling feeling more important if you're in a more exclusive Discord server, which is the same thing as having a higher status NFT. It's pretty funny when you think about it out loud.
Yeah, well, it's kind of, if you want to look for like a very local kind of IRL example of it, if you ever see a group of friends that are really close, they tend to kind of have their almost their own language with each other. Um, and I think that that's pretty much a similar thing to what you're talking about, but just on kind of a more global digital scale, which is that, when you get involved with people, from a relationship standpoint of any kind, you kind of develop your own kind of repertoire and language with each other and your own means of communication. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I think building community kind of comes down to building that communication and kind of coming up with those, memes, so to speak, that everybody kind of uses to, have kind of that deeper level of thought with each other.